So I had a dream 2 days ago that I was before my congregation, and I shared with them my testimony of how Apostle brought me out of bondage. And I'm sorry, I was thanking him. I was there thanking him. And maybe because it's Apostle Appreciation month coming up next month. And so I was just thanking him and sharing. And then, everybody was like, yeah, clapping and everything. And so I ran and took a lap, as if I was about 16. That's how fast I came down that podium, and I just took off, because that was an experience, and that was a heck of a testimony, because I got into the relationship after being single for about 2 or so years, and I had given my life to God 3 years prior. And I met a man that was not only Christian, but he really knew the word. He astonished me by his love for Christ, even his vision, things that he would share, and so I was at a time where I was in transition, and he was too, when I met him. And so I was like, wow, God, you bring me somebody. I thought, this is a humbling thing that God had brought us into, that we can go through this transition together and things of that nature. But a relationship, I didn't know, like my apostle says, I heard him say this, that when your role is unknown, abuse is inevitable. And so of course, I didn't know that then, but I didn't know what fully his role is. I didn't know my role really that much. And so I would be taking care of myself and the kids, and I would still have to take care of him. And this was like the bulk of our relationship, and just from one transition to the next, and it's like nothing was ever working out. I tried fasting and praying, and in some cases things got worse, and I just was like, man, even before things start to take a turn, I would just think this really sucks if this is what a kingdom marriage is supposed to be. And I didn't even use the word kingdom, but I was saying Christian marriage. But my church had, I now know the difference between the two. But anyways, to long and short, I was really deceived. I kind of was confused a lot of times. I thought my pastor, my apostle, had it wrong sometimes, because he even told me not to go back and but I was listening still to what my husband at the time was saying. So I was just really confused. And anyways, God made things very clear. I literally had to leave Houston for a period of time, and just was like, no, we can't do it anymore. So when you're all alone, you don't have anybody to assess the situation. I was there in a community that actually cared enough to. And so I will hear the words here and there, and they were gentle with me. Some of them were gentle with me. And so then it was like, okay, I pray that God give you wisdom to, such and such and such and such. And so I was like, okay, this is really not good for me. And so you won't know that unless you're constantly hearing the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So that's what God's word is. He said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. If you're in your home all alone, just trying to study the Bible, or even if you feel like you know it and you got it down, well, Satan is very cunning, and he's very good at what he does. He's the master of deception. You don't have anybody to assess the situation. And I feel like if I never gone into the church, which he brought me to, which was, that's another God thing, I would probably still be struggling in and out of that relationship, like totally messed up, my world corrupt, like everything would just probably been falling to pieces if I would still be alive. So anyways, I say that because what the way the devil deceived me, it may not look the same as the way he deceived someone else or deceive you. So it's whatever we are lay ignorance of, the devil will taint our view He will put blinders on, and so you won't know that. And this is why it's important to have a church community. I wouldn't say any other community. The only community would be church, because that's the only community that speaks truth. A Bible teaching church that preaches and teaches uncompromising, leaving nothing out, not just the prosperity, or a pastor that's talking about your haters all the time and how God is going to bless you. That is not biblical. If it's not all, then it's nothing at all. God says don't leave nothing out his word nor add to. So I wanted to share that with you all, share and encourage someone. Get back in the church. You need a church. We can help you find a church. I've been at my ministry for 6 years and shared so many testimonies. So I hope that compels somebody to come back to the church. All right. Be blessed. Bye-bye.